We're testing some lateral alignment. The final thing that's critical in custom fitting a boot is to have the lateral alignment set up properly. When people come in to Dodge ski boots, we do it here. What we want is a nice synchronized.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. You may feel something and go, this isn't quite right. What should I do? Well, that's what we're trying to do with people, is educate them so they can make those adjustments themselves to optimize their skiing experience. We're testing some lateral alignment so that people can get the cuff angle right, so that the ski gets on edge properly. So what we're doing now is just testing to find the sweet spot.
And so why does this matter so much on Dodge boots more than any other boot?
With a Dodge boot, it's so stable as far as the material is concerned that you can feel even half a degree difference on it. So we want to get it dialed in just right. We're trying it with some shims in there because that's a very easy way. We put the shim in between the boot and the heel piece of the binding. You step in and you can feel right away whether it's going in the right direction or not.
Right there. Honestly, this is like not the best way to do it, but it gives a really good example, and that's why we're doing it like this. So usually what we do is we change the bushings, these here, instead of changing the angle of the bottom of the boot. It's similar but different.
But also, it's important to note, by carrying these little shims, it's a really easy way to get a quick read on it, and then you can tell which way you want to go with it. And then we go and change the bushings. In one run, you can do it 3 different ways and say, okay, this is the way to go with it. And then you change the bushings and do it.
Awesome, that dude just buzzed us. Dave's up first, just put the shims in.
Felt a little aggressive.
What's that mean?
Hard to get your skis out from underneath you far enough without really kind of throwing them out there, and then once they're out there, you don't feel like you're quite in the right balance, and then your brain says, no, don't do that.
And then you can't actually get your knee to like drop in,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Now it's the most aggressive setup, so let's see what this looks like. I've always liked an aggressive setup, and that felt pretty good. So it brings your knees out so that bites earlier at the top of the turn. Yeah, I couldn't like drop the knees in too far, but I could drop them in quite a bit. So that was nice. Ready? So on my right-footed turns, I felt like I couldn't get the ski out from under me as much. My left-footed ones felt okay, but I just didn't feel comfortable getting the ski. It was almost like it was holding back rather than letting go. And so that was what we call too much edge. So I had too much edge.
So if you're feeling chattering, is that sometimes as a result of the...
That's a good indication. And if your knee's wobbling like this, when you're turning, it's definitely too aggressive. You want your knee to be in a little bit to the line of force. You want the line of force to come right through here.
So now we'll try it a different way.
Okay, here we go. Huge difference.
Good or bad?
Good. Much more relaxed, but I think it was a little too much. You know, I was able to put my feet out and trust the ski, but I think that my knee was in a little bit more, little less stable position than it should be.
Let's go. How'd that feel? Didn't feel terrible. Kind of liked it. Okay. Just felt like I was crushing one of my boots, but you know, feeling good. Gonna see super A-framey skiing. Oh, I can already feel it. Yeah, it's not quite as snappy.
Yeah.
But I will say, when you're trying to get that shot with like your hip on the ground, it's a perfect setup for that. Because then you can really get your hip in there. So it's a good marketing turn? Yeah, totally. It's like perfect for the marketing turn. For me, the other one was more fun because it has more zip to it. Okay.
So we'll see. I'll go back to my normal setup and see. Regular setup seems to be right because it's right, nice happy medium between the two. You know, I'm in a stronger position and I'm very comfortable getting my skis out from underneath me.
Remove the shims and we'll go back to the current setup.
That felt like the most neutral so that I could do anything at any time. When otherwise, you know, I was kind of restricted a little bit on both either ends when it was like too much out or too much in. Much more fun, much more natural, and then I could be a little bit more playful. I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Warner's a very playful guy. Let's try one and see where we go from there. See if I can rip.
Feel better. So that's a better setup for you.
I think it is.
Wow, sick, dude.
So we'll come in a little bit, a little more edge on my left leg. Leave the right one the way it is.
Boom!
Done.
Because what I was seeing the first time when you had it less aggressive was actually getting some bigger angles.
And also doing this, if you're on different snow, sometimes you can make your knees be further out and give yourself more edge when it's softer snow. So there's lots of different like parts of this. Bill, you want to say anything else?
You got it.
All right, and by the way, Dave has 2 knee replacements. And how long ago?
In April,
Insane.
9 months ago.
So cool.
And another thing, as they get better and better through the season, get stronger and more confident, weakening the alignment just a little bit, a half a degree or so, will promote them getting their skis out from underneath themselves and making a better turn.